Exercise 1. We're going to follow the rules that we went through, starting with terminology. We said an expression is a team of players, and the terms are number of players. In this case, we have 3 players. Coefficients and constants are jersey numbers, and variables are the players' names. The exponents are the medals or the cards. Then we move to rule number 2, jersey numbers. We have jersey number 7, jersey number 3, jersey number 2. These come from the expression here at the top. Rule number 3, players' names. We have the letter X for Xhosa, the letter Y for YOLO. So as you can see, our next player, second player also has Xhosa, YOLO, because they have X and Y. And third player, Xhosa, YOLO, because they have X and Y. Once you've chosen a name for a letter or an alphabet, you have to stick to that name every time you do your team names. Players' medals. We've identified the Y medals. The Y medals. And player 2 also has Y medals. But player 3 doesn't have visible medals. So we have invisible 1 medals. So if they were showing, they'll be written here. But in this case, they are not shown. So we call them the invisible 1 medals. Do we have refs cards? No, we don't have refs cards because we're not inside the brackets. We're not inside the penalty box. Our player positions on the midfield because we don't have brackets or roots. Our movement is determined by the operation signs. And in this case, our players are running. Plus or minus is running. And you can imagine, like the picture up here, 3 players running towards the ball. The laws of medals, we said we have the invisible 1. So that's the only law that we'll be using here. The laws of cards, we don't have cards because we don't have brackets or are not inside the penalty box. And the game strategy now is how we solve, how we put all the rules together so that we have a winning strategy. So we have 7, jersey number 7, Xhosa YOLO with 2 medals, plus running, jersey number 3, Xhosa YOLO also with 2 medals, plus running, jersey number 2, Xhosa YOLO with only invisible medals. So I'm not going to show them. And how do I solve? So for running players, I need to look at the matching players. In this case, I have these 2 players matching because they have the same names and same medals. Names and medals. Whereas the third player only has the same name but not the same medals. So for me to add the 2 players, I need to have same names and medals. And when I add them, I add the jersey numbers. So it will be 7 plus 3, which is a 10. Keep the names and the medal. And the third player will just remain by himself. And that is our strategy.